Sidratu Aminata Kamara from the United States of America. He dedicated this song to one of the biggest organizations in the world, Weird. Yeah.
Made a crack on the mix.
91 big boy picking.
It's your double tap, see the ball. Daily days, 091. Yellow flag this.
Hallelujah.
Come on. Weird organization. Don't come for every nation. Weird organization. Don't come for promote the nation. They know they mix my politics. They know they pass tribalism. They know they mix my politics. Yeah. They know they pass no tribalism.
This now we hard. Duck and now we land. So la we all and fine. This now we hard. Duck and now we land. So la we all and fine. Who know they back kapu kapu. We had no mix bag bamu bamu. We know they back kapu kapu. We had no mix.
Alright, good morning and welcome to another beautiful edition of the program where we call Colores right on We Are na YouTube and on Facebook. Thank you very much for joining me inside the program this morning. If you watch me from YouTube or on Facebook, I want to say thank you and good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depends to the part of the world where actually the watch me from. Please, if you did join me, don't forget to like the program and share so other people go actually benefit from waiting we get inside the show this morning. Well, we'll start with the different paper, the first one we get inside the program this morning, and we'll start with the Concord Times newspaper, where it says family cries for justice over mysterious death of IPAM students. And you get Mercury International customer sweep over 8.7 million new loans in lottery winning, and the Parliament enact new local government acts. Ambassador Samuel Musa discusses LEONE relationship with EU, and Broadcasters Association certified by Corporate Affairs Commission. This is another story there for you inside the Concord Times this morning. And the next pick now the News 24, where it says Sam Sumana and supporter may join SLPP if. Then you get a mini moped and Ward C validate presidential initiative of local economic program for peninsula communities. This is another story there for you inside the News 24 this morning. The next one are the Independent Observer. We say 516,700 people to benefit from $50 million United States dollars IDA project, and fistula survivors recognized. This another story there for you inside the Independent Observer, and of course you get free quality education, get more support. The next speaking at the Premier News, we say Parliament enacts Local Government Act, and you get FCC receives 2 vacuum truck and equipment, and you get APC registration for lower level election faulted. This is another story there for you inside the Premier News newspaper for this morning. And the next speak now the Voice of Salone. Voice of Salone say Accord Logistics bastardizes due processes. Appoint Priscilla Schwartz as board chairperson. And Gento determines to break tribalism. SLPP government sign a mining agreement with rogue investors, citizen in mining company on the spotlight, and maritime administration becomes heaven for corruption. Question mark. This is another story there for you inside the Voice of Salone. And the next speak now the Salone Times newspaper. Salone Times newspaper say 5 worst performing ministries 2022. You get the Minister of Trade, just attempt for watching by the face if I go sabi. Minister of Trade, okay, they named them there. Minister of Trade, Minister of let me see. What is this? Okay, I think this is the Minister of Local Government. Anyway, I don't sabi them by face. But anyway, I see the Sports Minister and other one them. Well, then they talk about the 5 worst performing for the year. And Mercury dishes 8.7 billion to 14,000 winners. And UNDP schools journalists on SGBV, gender equality. This is another story there for you inside the Salone Times. And the next paper for this morning at the Indigenous, we say NIA to enforce the law on use of ECR machine. And Legal Links tells its success story. This is another story there for you inside the Indigenous newspaper for this morning. Next week, now the Calabash newspaper, we say during COP15, President Xi Jinping says a sound ecosystem is essential for prosperity of civilization, and President Vio applauds AfriCell in Washington. And engaging editors, IMC outlines recent research findings as well as successes, and partnering to serve humanity consortium concludes 6th interfaith dialogue. Tourism Minister unveil APWA 2023-2026 strategic plan, and Zulu Mandingo Trading donates food items to Light of Islam Mosque. This is another story for you inside the Calabash newspaper. And the next pick now the AZ newspaper. AZ newspaper say NPPA prevent 1.6 trillion for misappropriation by MDA's NPPA chief. And you get Salone Police to enjoy 100% salary increment in 2023. VP Julie Jallo assures. In LJ Brothers 14 order trial, Justice Fisher substitute 18 months to 12 to 15 months jail terms. And Parliament passes 2022 Local Government Amendment Bill into law. This another story there for you inside the AZ newspaper. The next pick now the Women's Voice with a female aspirant plan to grab Ward 442 seat in constituency 122, and popular Sierra Leone councillor honored by Philadelphia City Council. Communities celebrate fistula survivors, reintegration and graduation. NATCA boss outline strategies for 2023 and beyond. This another story there for you inside the Women's Voice. Of course, they get at the top right, they get hands off our girls. This another story for you inside this particular paper. And the next paper, now the Awakon newspaper, will probably going to be the last paper for this morning we'll go take. We say Jala University announced partnership with Durham Cape Coast University. And again, I was ambushed by 11 youth. Honorable Lahai Mara. And again, repeal of criminal libel law fulfills TRC recommendation. But you get Parliament enact 2022 Local Government Amendment Act. This is another story there for you inside the Awako newspaper for this morning. When the paper then this way we actually get inside the program this morning. Well, we actually bring we guest we will come open for waiting we get inside the cool guest this morning. This we guest not a stranger inside anymore. He done the journey for several editions, and of course in the brain behind Freetown Post. And in name Lawrence Williams, we don't join me in the program this morning. Lawrence, good morning and welcome to the program, cool guest.
Good morning and thanks for having me.
Okay, what do we get for the cool guest?
Well, you know, where you don't make the after secretary can be fantastic. You don't cook the rest, and then you left them. Let's sleep. In the morning now, the particularly the jackato and everything where you don't make, you just add sardine fantastic no more now. Then you heat them, steam them, you warm the rest. So we cut them no more now, we put them fantastic. You get you one big jar water because now the cup stuff not going to do. The way you eat
Lawrence,
so water
like you cook very well.
And seriously, what is up? Now you are the carry this morning.
Alright.
I will show you.
Okay, so before we go with any of the items inside the program, please, I want to we wish we producer for this program a happy birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, they're celebrating birthday today. Elias Bar, we now the strong producer behind this particular program. We want to wish you a happy birthday. And we dey pray that Allah bless you with the things them when are the positive things them when you think of in your life, and you go actually be that kind of successful person. Anything you put your hand on, you go be blessed. We want to say happy birthday to you, Eliasa Ba. Okay, so we're going now inside the program this morning. Of course, the last paper we'll take now going to be the first issue we'll go begin treat inside the program. Lawrence, it look like you need to give me some of your paper.
No, you will smell them.
Hey, you know what you do me so now. All right, so let me go inside the first paper this morning. I'll get this one where is very interested, where I get interest on, because it gets for with national security. It's a repeal of criminal libel law fulfills TIC recommendation, but so I wonder now why bots for the this repealing of the criminal libel law. You get any bots with regards this?
Well, I go on first one. I could read just like the first paragraph of that story there.
Okay, let's try and see if I can able to do that. Actually, this story now by Sir Suleiman Sisse Aoko. It's a Freetown, Sierra Leone, to some journalists. The repeal of the Part 5 of the 1965 Public Order Act was a dream come true for many. Hold the view that it was going to attract investment in the media. However, 2 years on, progress is still slow if one is to talk about investment in the media. Part 5 of the Act was repealed on the 23rd July 2022, a law that criminalized libel and sedition. Part 5 of the 1965 Public Order Act was considered a okay, basically just to get the background. Basically, I think that I don't get into this with my own small idea. Basically, you know, when they criminalize this particular thing, when they make case against the journalist, all the one they were involved. This Congo the end part. Like for example, if me don't talk something where somebody not like where in consider for being libel, it take me to court and they find me guilty, they can fine me or they jail me, or at the same time that affect even the one where they sell on the street the paper, they can even arrest that particular person there, and the one themselves where they be them for support them, for partner with them, they all they can as well arrest them. So this will make plenty people they shy away from the media, and I think basically now that it they try for put together. Yeah. So as a journalist, you know, they don't repeal this, but according to this journalist, still investment not they come into the media.
Okay. Now, one of the thrust of the argument put forward for the repeal of the 1965 Public Order Act, the Criminal Seditious Libel Law. Now, we museum, and that was actually the case we established. We get evidence for show say, I mean, people are not they come up for investing in the media because of that particular law. As you rightly mentioned, there are judgments them we related to criminal and seditious libel law. We for the people press, for example, when Paul Camara in his paper, where they don't find them guilty, we they not only say they go after and property there. Even the printing press, who side them go print the paper. When a private investor in the offer printing services, they may get for that judgment is also affects that because I think that woman they may get for confiscating printer, they may find and confiscating in printing machine and everything. Even you self where they sell the paper, you would catch even they read the paper, the libel article. So that make it
as long as they catch any of the things then you under particular moments they.
You are going. So that maybe don't make investors and shy away from the media. And so it was thought that following the repeal or the expulsion of that law, investment go thrive in the media. And last was it early this year or last year, the government did convey media investment conference. Those are them people learn from Kenya and some other countries then for can share present papers, expert opinions, what have you. And but even at that time, two of the biggest and largest investors in the media, Salone, they'll not be invited for that press conference. And now one of the concerns that will be notes. So you cannot hold a media investment conference. Then the likes of Marketing International, where a Nokia outside paper, whether an SPP paper, whether an APC paper, whether an independent paper, they all paper get almost all 99.9% of all media houses get Mercury advance, particularly when it comes to print newspapers, television stations, instead they run Mercury programs then. Some radio stations, instead they run Mercury programs then. The other bigger investor again in the media na Africell mobile company. They instead they give adverts to almost all newspapers, radio stations them. In fact, they not only they support radio stations them, they also they provide for them
equipment,
internet, equipment, and other things there. So these are the two biggest investors in the media.
And on the
so
sales side, like Africell, they even provide, in the case of Usai, some radio station, they get challenged with electricity and the pole. They even mount the mast with them.
Then yes. Co-location of mass and not then something. So these two are doing very well. Now, so since that time to now, we not see any signs of investors coming in. No, like okay.
So wait. Maybe I missed this thing out. So you mean the investment conference? By the way, would that be called LAC Conference Day? The Ministry of Information.
Now the Ministry of Information.
So they basically be focused on people where they come out for share the experience, but the big, company, the way they actually invest in the media, they don't call them.
They're not calling them.
The local company, the way they invest in the media.
Yeah, they're not invited.
So this we talk about local content. The government so much pay attention to who that they out rather than who that they inside, and the investment they inside the country.
Yeah. I mean, look at the companies, the number of companies there. We get mining companies there, for example. We get other telecommunications companies there, right? We get so many other big players them where they come for invest in the whether the mining industry or the extractive industry as a whole, where you don't get so much people are working time, some are establishing company or whatever you. But those people are not supporting the media at all. And even at some point, community radio stations then, let's say you get XYZ company operating one village. That community radio station where they take information from when they happen all over the country for persons to in people them. They're not they support them. So and the media is challenged. The media is seriously challenged, my brother. So like all of these ones, they actually speak to the fact that the media is lack investment, we lack equipment, and we're not able to match up. Yes, in terms of intellectuals, we will say yes, we get intellectuals and now the media or what have you. But the capacity, where you look like if you watch like Joy FM, Joy TV in Ghana, when you watch the picture quality force, you know they compare with anyone with TV stations in there. I have been there. I don't see the equipment. I don't go inside the studio. I collect, not to joke. I collect. When you see the standard equipment there, or what Al Jazeera or BBC they buy, they say they buy standard. The screen, soft touch, and everything. Everything damn thing you think about. Then get that improve. Why? Because investment there and that. Well, I read some Ghanaian newspapers then. The Business and Financial Times and two others then. About 45 to 47 page, one Ghanaian newspaper. Almost every page, they get about close to 30 pages if I can accumulate up to 30 page advert. And for winner, in fact, what to make the situation worse, especially for the print. Like radio, so if you want to go do a paid for program na radio station, you they pay upfront. Yeah. If you want to go do a paid for program at television station, you they pay upfront. When you want for advertise now, the radio station or television station, you advertise, you pay upfront. When it comes to the media now, to the print media, you go to advertise with newspaper, for example. You don't advertise, you don't send, let's say, request for quotation or bid or what have you, procurement stuff or what have you. You go to advertise at the newspaper. The newspaper don't advertise for you. You know the PMO. The person who don't read the paper, you don't see the advert, you don't bid for that advert day. You don't go, you don't win the bid. You don't pay, you don't deliver the contractual agreement, the thing and the specification wanna say, the thing wanna say, one for procurement, the one win the bid or the company win the bid, they don't win up, they don't procure anything, they don't deliver, they don't pay them. The newspaper will advertise that way they call the way they see them, don't pay them. And that is the situation. If I tell you the debt way newspapers they write off as bad debt every year is so enormous. And the higher debt to the media, in fact, na government as well. I can tell you, for me right now, I got institutions that will owe me for over 8 months. Over 8 months. Over 8 months, my brother. I'm not going to name them because probably it may not be nice for like embarrassment sooner. But I'm telling you, one of the institutions, a very big institution, and they get money. But
so why they forget on your small things they want to get?
Well, that is why government and the IMC should come. In fact, we don't propose that we need a law on advertisement, a law on advertising. Because many papers then, for radio stations, they can be a little bit better because I said, you want to do program, you want to do advertisement or whatever, you pay the upfront. When it comes to newspaper, you need to advertise first before you make invoice before you pay. And now show that they take old money and money under water. In Ghana, for example, when they send the advert, they equally send the check, the payment upfront. They tell them now the days them or dates when they for provided.
I think one reason for that now because of the reliability. Somebody would all person in money for advert, but not the pool paper.
No. I don't think so that is the case. No editor, no publisher, no go ever old person money for advert, no pool paper. Because in the very first place, advert now in the lifeblood for any newspaper. If advert no day, you are constrained to publish because yes, in as much as the content with the market, don't forget that it is also a business, and the business side as well should be looked into and taken into consideration. So we are constrained. I'm telling you, it's not so Africell. Let's say if Africell and Mercury right now, then cut off their support to the media, so particularly the print media. 99.9% of all newspapers in the country they shut down. Let me tell you that for a fact. If they stop their support to the media, 99.9% of all the shut down. We have banks, for example, they are not investing in the media. They don't have, in fact, you get the institutions then, okay, like where they get programs, so they want to do this, they want to do this, they will invite media houses for go cover and publish. Then whether they pull advert, so they advertise because or what have you, they don't send it on the newspaper, they send it on social media. It's on social media. So like for me develop a policy. The editorial policy is very clear on what they are for do. I will support CSOs they want to say credible, promote public policy dialogue and what have you. But believe you me, in fact, people are watching me, I don't know. Most of me lead stories them. Now report them. Either it can be like recently this global fund report, either it will be audit report, either it will be US State Department report on salary. So issues they need to deal with. They part the how you call that? This person don't go don't go open bridge or this person don't go no. Then of course as media you have to promote your business partner because in any case, once they do business with you, you say for show that appreciation the way it do something, you publish news and rest of the day. So that's the situation in the media. Recently, we were told that there is this fund available for public interest media. That about $100,000 or so na income for public interest media. The Ministry of Information, when are they in charge, no engage with on the way forward for that grant day and how they get for distribute or disposal to media houses, went in the criteria them and everything. And of course, yeah, don't they close now. In fact, just yesterday, yes, the IMC don't review a renewal fee for because every year we only pay NAFI. We pay NRE trade tax. It means trade tax now the tax the sell where they sell the paper. We they sell paper 2,000 euros. So that sale lane I need the tax. You can imagine trade tax. We they pay trade tax. Then after that we they pay renewal license fees to IMC. We submit all you and documents there for say you don't you NAFID compliance certificate, NRA tax clearance certificate, and everything. And then provide. Then you go pay the IMC due. Before this time, they pay 500,000, but now they said oh, it's an upwards. They don't make a 100% increment. So for 500,000 to 1 million euros. So everything does they go up now. So we will get time frame. Normally, it can be between 1st to 31st January for complete all our process day. For like eligible for renewal, for like continue for the publish as a publisher on the paper house. So we have to go through that process day back again. But
so this question I will put to you now, we can see plenty time that they say plenty brown envelope journalists them day, plenty press conference journalists them day. All of them challenges they are so responsible for that day because nobody know they do something, not they wear cap for short. Of course, when you do work. At the end of the day, you get for expect something. If you're not able to get them from a paper or from your radio station, of course, you get for fan means for let you get them. And of course, the only way we can get them most of the time, we faster than through politicians. And we don't see it. We don't go through the system and the way we be doing our other radio stations. For example, if you go interview politicians, sometimes you give 500,000, you give 1 million. They know that money they don't ever pay you on the radio, television, we day. Yeah. So of course, if the politician make mistakes, you call and say, "Pa, you make mistake, but no, make them for you fine." So how we go hold up to with professionalism when nothing not there for show in the media?
Okay, so it has to do with the theory address that editorial standards, editorial policy. Okay, so like for me,
before we talk about editorial policy, we not a secret say for newspaper, for example, where the journalist come with his story. Before it feature na the newspaper, of course, some editor go ask, say, waiting at the interest behind this story, where me your percentage. So all of them they count.
Now, let me tell you, one of the challenges that you get some media houses that we employ because they want to say, okay, I employ 10 people or I employ 8 people, I employ 16 people. So you employ more people you cannot cater for, you cannot actually pay. You understand? Okay, so there was a time I almost encountered that problem. So how we solve them? When the COVID-19 struck, when I know say things don't go bad and what have you, I'm not get the capacity, the financial strength for continue for pay the number of workers they want to get. So I look at, the voucher and everything, look at how much they spend and how things they don't go up and money not the carry side. I cut down. I lay 3 off. I may get 5. I lay 3 off because I don't go able for pay them. And me not a person where you they can work for me. Then at the end of the day you not get nothing. Or sometimes you can go begin data brand because in the very first instance, I can always be proud of myself. Since I came into this profession, I not ever data attack and collect the Senate collect or brown envelope. I not a label to politician. It's not possible because it's not this time. I not learn on a host. When I come into this job, I come into this job with passion and zeal to make a change. I'm telling my brother. So I don't learn. It's a word in a sky, don't spend a day. Where and Ukuma, where the ginger we in principles the way he imbibed enough at that time. Some of those of us who passed through him, we are all successful in our own establishments today. Because why? We learn on the very hard way. Now we'll be angry. As we always talk about. I mean, politicians not they call me for rubbish. You know, whoever call me name say, oh, na so, it's not possible because I know the boundary. Bruh. So even at that is situationally, you are not compelled or forced for employ 30 people. When the IMC more because they submit you the list of workers then. Yeah, even when you go do reunion as soon as you submit payment voucher, outside you work as them, evidence of for sure say yes, you pay you work as them. You pay them not below the minimum threshold when are 600,000. Me they pay far ahead of another money, but the two will maintain. You get me? The two will maintain plus me graphics monthly, and they pay them. Me not they take salary. me not get salary. So that one are satisfied with them. Even when this year, I be really one of my very senior worker off. I call and first I talk with them. I say, well, this is the situation. Things don't go bad. We can either cut down on his salary by 20% or a layoff. He accepted for low cut down on his salary by 20%. But at the end of the day, the worker demand the worker say and say it will be unfair to him. And so I decided not for do him again. I decided for maintaining salary as well. And he's very happy. And this is one of the people away. They don't work now big paper though. They don't ever pay when they pay. Not so much they make cool. But this is the situation. Then you get some media houses in back where they don't pay people in better. So they give 200,000, they go make voucher account and front the reporter like outside say they 600 or 800,000 for go fulfill IMC condition. This is one of the things where even I've done come up with now. One of we meetings there with MLCG, Wasteland represent, Guild who are represented and everything. I raised up that issue is that I don't release some of them things there. So by and large, we are trying to, there are improvements in the media, there are improvements. We only get some bad extent. You get some people that way, believing me, that impersonate back they impersonate. They are not a staff of any media institution in this country. Then they go early morning and post office. If you see they don't, if you say you don't publish something, but corruption, you don't expose some establishment or institution. Then go they see the paper, they buy them, Then go meet that person. They claim they impersonate now then the editor or now then the reporter that this should write but you it's not perform Monday day and the way they call it. We don't complain. Even starting programs that wouldn't go invite you. You go see some people the way they come in and claim saying they're journalists. So I said they don't invite somebody from Freedom Post or Executive Newspaper or Awoko Newspaper. There's a thing now they call it normally to give transportation reform. So the institution on budget for whether they invite and know that they invite. So they call Awoko Newspaper. I see somebody different, you know, one day study, it has to have for Awoko Newspaper for time.
I get some experience. One day in a bank complex, you know, this guy, you know, dress, he really dress fine, eh? He even dress past with some of the journalists them. At the end of the day, interestingly, they can go inside the program and they will not even know send a poll invitation.
They got ID card.
Yes.
They don't make ID card for themselves.
Some of them people and they now then they go and thief phone at them program and they. So yes, they impersonate, not only impersonate, but they thief as well. So all of this because the truth now some media house not get structure, so then they use that as you know advantage, you know, for able for do waiting they want for do. That's it. We don't see plenty of them, you know, including Parliament. You know, one time be the way they say the US ambassador in phone even lost in Parliament. Remember?
But even DP in phone be don't lost our occasion.
So these are the people where they go there. Then they take advantage of the weak, you know, structure where they into the media landscape for able for do waiting they want for do. You know, we don't see some people and they call big man, even ministers them. They impersonate journalists them. You know, and the ministers they can fall for that. Because they self-corrupt.
They impersonate even the Speaker of Parliament. Even ministers they impersonate them.
Yes, even the clerk. I see the clerk the other day they impersonate the clerk.
So for me, it's not about structure. You cannot stop those people. The only thing on that police, like when you identify them, so you alert the police, they arrest them and deal with them. You get me? Because even, I mean, it's not even about structure. These are people where they go and get. You get all the people in back where, because like when December can cancel, we can publish them greetings, their season greetings from different companies. You get people and they tell you, well, you get the number of them, they Eastern. They kind of post office in the morning, can't buy that and take that a day. You go down publish something, 2-3 greetings. Then they go down paper, they falsify ID card all, saying that the press houses and come out, they go collect payments on behalf of the press house. When you send your own person go there now, the press house send now, they say they don't can collect that for now. I've experienced that today. Let me tell you that. I have experienced it. They go collect payment on behalf of the press house. They print ID card and everything. Yes, they are doing it. So the impersonators, this established criminal enterprise where they run. They know themselves. I'm telling you, and not only man the pay, woman the only pay. I know some people where they even spec for couple. Now one conference where we go. They were not invited. And at the end of the day, people like say, no invite now when they call. Then they're okay. Now people like say, okay, well I do na this for now go shiba. Wait till the first come out. I came outside and looked at them and just laughed. They also can do and back go for that budget hearing where the annual budget hearing at the Ministry of Finance where they can scrutinize the and they present the budget for scrutiny and what have you. If you say they keep packing, if I don't also news they go for. They don't go in for this because in fact in the first place they are not journalists.
They go for the transport.
They go in for go Irish, for get money, for do this, for do this. All that one they create bad name for the press. And that is a very big embarrassing situation for us in Sierra Leone.
All right.
I don't know whether that same is happening in other countries, but it's embarrassing for us.
Interestingly, it go the happen, but I know they see the happen like country like when you work of course Ghana, for example. You know they see them thing they happen because they get structure and then they deal with corporate institutions then. Interestingly, something where they happen in our country is unique to our country, like that transport for journalists. Is unique to our country. Some other side and they know they happen. All right, so let me move and take another story. Basically we see this. I see this thing again. I don't know if this thing is really of interest to you. As a newspaper get two story where I so much get interest on. The first one, for do with the big banner headline saying Salone police to enjoy 100% salary increment in 2023. VP Julie assures 2023 100%. Increment for the Salone police. You think so? We get the money for increase the salary 100%?
There's a difference between assurance or promise and actual. Even between talk and do. For talk now one thing, for do now one thing. Now we all know the economy right now is very, very challenging. And in fact, when you read the budget speech, I think that they are planning to recruit more officers. In fact, so if we are complaining that money not there, what are you going to put money now for pay the new recruits them where they intend for recruit? What are you plan now for even upgrade or increase the salaries of police personnel to 100%? 100% means say, for example, if they get 800,000, if they can't get between, if they get 1.6, because 800,000 back there for add-on on top.
100%.
That is not a realistic and truistic statement. In fact, there is one thing about me. I get paper them where I read. I get paper the way I just watch and throw it. Like when you just skip, okay, I just want to watch what you say today and pull that come out. Because I know exactly who side the paper come out, who that gets done, who that is support the paper. A good number of print media houses in Sierra Leone are either owned, supported or controlled by politicians. So, and the A to Z now one of them. So me know who they call. VP Jules say on the if we're able to explain to me, who side the money. If I were there,
because I remember
I
say
asked Mr. Vice
25%
President.
increment for the forces them, even that they not be forthcoming. We not see it don't happen yet. It's 25% increments, for the forces them. Now then they talk about 100% in 2023. So the thing we kind of in mind and the question we left in my mind now, why now only 2023?
In fact, that's why even at the budget speech.
Yeah, so who side they come out?
You cannot make that statement. It's not possible because now the thing is, well, for those of us who are focused more on a research-based journalism, because if you make such statements, I will go back to the budget speech. The budget speech don't outline everything in terms of salary increment for the forces and teachers and nurses and blah blah blah, almost percentage increment and don't forgetting everything. So if you know they definitely I don't think one of our first VP, the vice president, now intelligent man. Now I have high regard for him. Let me tell you. Not of them politicians the way they go and make frivolous statements. Ain't not to the type.
So who side this you feel say these statements come on?
I don't think say that statement they got. But my friend, armchair journalism easy for them. I don't believe, I'm not convinced say VP Juliet Jallo go make that kind of statement.
So
not possible.
why this paper for Kotam with this kind of insincere, dishonest, statement, and then I don't know if they feel comfortable with that, but they agree to that because if a paper carry this kind of big banner headline, 100% increment for the police, where of course we all know say not to reality that one day. It's not in a budget, as you don't already highlight them, and anything we're not in a budget, it's not easily they counter. Even some of the increments already in a budget, then the strain serious one for later even get them for Adam. So why this paper for be this kind of, well, I know one for say the paper dishonest because I don't know whether that it really come from the VP or that the paper na make up story.
Even if it comes from let's assume okay the paper reports it to a kind of VP talker. Now look at the editorial guide na a cardinal principle way for determine how a paper or a media house they report a story. For me, the very first thing I will do now for fact check that statement, and if it's not true, I will draw them up at the headline and include them at the story. That contrary to what known as the budget speech, the vice president has said the force will have 100% increase in salary in 2023. I will put on and that this statement is contrary to what known as budget speech. And the vice president has also failed to explain where the money will come from. You have to be, how to say, you have to have that what they call that nose dive for news and to able for like research and bring out the truth.
And that's
I can tell you, I don't
the journalist work very much important because, for example, let's assume, now the vice president now he make this statement, but he make a right in front of police officers, them senior police officers, them for that matter. None of them picked it up, but instead you go listen to them, then go the clap and the gladdy. Say yes, we can get 100% increment. Where they don't even know what it take for them to get that kind of increment. So you see how it's like. So the journalists been get a responsibility, like you say, for make the public know say, yes, it don't talk this so, but let me look at the possibility. Let me look at the budget, because they don't already read budget, where they already work on right now for 2023.
In fact, Parliament for pass the Appropriation Act this week. For pass the Appropriation Act when they authorize expenditure out of the consolidated fund. Where any money so far, where Parliament not authorized, you not be right for spend them.
Although we see the government can spend that in some case.
Oh yes. In fact, no. Now, this is I've been on the watch. I read the Constitution and there's no Constitution at one kind. It's so crafted that certain sections where they read that, you need to read that in tandem with other provisions. Then.
So now, it's sort of riff-raff. They under. No fun. Today go don't tell you this. If you not take time, it will mislead you back. Because you get other side where they go contradict that same kind of thing. And you get other documents them as well. you know, we don't come, we don't pull that particular thing, they don't get and drink again.
One of the things I've read then is I can't find out there's one provision we give power to the president for let him spend money even without parliamentary approval. It is in the constitution. The president can spend money without parliamentary approval.
And then the same constitution will tell you, say, for any expenditure, get for go to parliament.
Yeah.
I the one that we call this with tongue, free tongue, then do bad. All thing free. They really not try. Alright, so this now one. Let's take the next one where I actually see where I go one follow we talk about quickly. Because we don't we get 50 more minutes for go. Inside the same paper, AZ, one thing where I see now NPPA, National Public Procurement Authority, prevent 1.6 trillion from misappropriation by MDAs. So this story, let me see, like 1 or 2 years ago, similar story like this don't come up. But when we get, for example, the African Express and other people challenge this man, we find out say even then they flout the procurement, will make the country even lost lot of money instead of preventing the loss of monies.
No, my brother, the recent one, now a report with the global fund, they support countries and provide grants to countries them for fight malaria, HIV, and their other sick them. Mainly they provide grants for improve the health status and health infrastructure na low and middle income countries them. So they don't give him money, plenty money. They don't give him money. Now recently they published the report. Now the international website, now they didn't publish that. We they found out say money we they giving for malaria training for malaria and health system strengthening. There is one particular grant. I write this story then this was it on Tuesday where I published? Yeah, wherein the IPAO, that are the Integrated Health Project Administration Unit. Now, units were established under the Ministry of Health and Sanitation for provide and oversee the management of donor resources or donor funds where they come for whether in a health, Ministry of Health, or some, mostly Ministry of Health, but they can also oversee some for Ministry of Education, oversee them procurement processes and blah blah blah. So now in the established about mainly for health, Integrated Health Project Administration Unit. So all them donor projects they will get for do with health under the Ministry of Health. Now then they oversee their money then they make sure say they do the right thing. Now IPAO the Global Fund investigates them. They find out say they manipulate the procurement processes for catering services where they spend over $400,000. Listen, over $400,000. Where the expenditure they not comply with the processes and procedures.
Then go against all the procurement, policies. Them.
Yeah, some bidders they submit blank invoice when they go fill them. Just so they don't get pre-selected bidders. Then they manipulate the process. They have to explain, but they manipulate the process.
Then they look for kickback.
Well, the auditors they say they're not able to establish. They don't see any evidence for say they do not forget kickback. But they flout the process system and over $400,000 non-compliant expenditure. The way they call, and they don't ask them or the person they're responsible for refund part of that money there. And it's very embarrassing. When you go to the Global Fund website, you see all other catalog.
And this not for just the malaria. Then do the same thing under the HIV and AIDS Secretariat. Still under the Ministry of Health.
Yes, still under them. And oh yeah, my brother. And this now just for catering services.
Yes.
If you can remember the COVID-19, the COVID-19 first report where audit services published, where Taylor Pierce been as head of audit service. Then they give one construction company catering services. They needed catering services to provide food to quarantine homes. Them. You know that they don't give catering service providers than the contractors. For them, we get the experience, we get the profile, they able to deliver the service and what have you. You know that they give a construction company, a road construction company for that.
If pharmaceutical company, cosmetic company, they provide medical for residents.
I will tell you, pharmaceutical company provided air services for the president. So road construction company likewise provide catering services. But this now procurement flaws they're actually serious now in country, yeah. And so what you see there report there, NPPA prevents procurement.
So if NPPA just imagine if they say that they prevent 1.6 trillion from misappropriation, imagine almost the don't pass over the aid where they don't see. Imagine this one, just on procurement, $400,000. And now within the shortest possible time, from January to, I think, March, 3 months, $400,000.
But this is the situation. So what is the I'm not moved though. Because the number of procurement they take, and all of these documents, all of that here, they can get concurrence first from the NTPO.
It means supporting documents for sure say yes, it passed the procurement and other things there. Yes. It don't come out one in this way, you don't defend some of them things and they when we see the African experts being challenged on that and they but now they would end up and ACC not come inside at all.
In fact, let me tell you my brother. Go back to the COI, the Commission of Inquiry. The head of NTPA, now one of the ones that we go testify, say 60 papers them for the Ministry of Health. I think that for the Ebola period, right? Where there was misprocurement and blah blah blah. Yeah. So now they arrange the paper them for let them make meeting and fine. So for me, believe me, now Salone model they happen. If it were in any developed country or countries there where they aspire for attain development, and then Rwanda, then Kenya, you don't publicly admit in the Commission of Inquiry. Believe me, every government work in that country.
So what you say about this one now? The same thing goes to the Minister of Finance right now. They indict him, they find guilty the Commission of Inquiry, he appeal, and then within the shortest possible time, the court make him fast for him. As they discharging case na court, when they say not get case, the next day they make a Minister of Finance.
So it now begs the question, and I've asked that question then, whether justice, the wheels of justice, only whine and grind for those in power and their acolytes. It begs the question. So you see. They clearly today, they appointed the next day. Let's go back to this case here, so this rice saga, the Chinese rice and the ACC where they come. Now imagine the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, they provide, they captain the first. They don't talk on, say it gets zero tolerance for corruption. Here is a situation where the ACC don't get all the evidence, go now the all side the rest go there, fall around, they get all the evidence. They indict you minister. You release the minister of his duty. Now the ACC gonna court. When the ACC gonna court, they now enter non-prosecute. I hope I pronounce the Latin word correct. But it means say when they gonna court, they now say, they tell the judge now say, we no wish for continue with this case. We want to pull this case out of court. We no wish for continue with this case. This please excuse what they give. They say they want for let the trial be judge-led trial. When
Judge
we say
alone,
judgment,
yes, not a judge and jury.
Yeah, judge alone. Then the Attorney General and Minister of Justice don't say now judge and jury trial. Now, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, when are the principal legal advisor to the president and the government, they work under the president. The president now the champion the fight against corruption. So, so when you bring out that excuse, if you say that this the Attorney General don't do, it is the business of the president for now instruct a Attorney General and Minister of Justice say that's the way you go pull and come out. Give this man clear away, make it able for move on with this trial. I hope you understand me, Paul.
Yes, please.
But if you see now, the Attorney General insert a kind of barrier, then the ACC say they say, okay, now this they don't do. It all speaks to one particular thing. My opinion about it is that okay, they get a meeting first and sit down. Say, brother, this now when people are in as much as we don't do this here, so we're not nothing at all this thing they come out. So I think so for no one. Then I say, okay, me they count this here to say na judge and jury trial. Then when I say for pin say no na judge led trial. So we argue that I say well we are not pleased with this, therefore we are the pull the case come up first na court.
Okay, so
when people talk about the fight against corruption,
it come na my mind where I not feel say plenty people don't see this thing here, so where they can bring to you so now. For example, we don't see outside corruption case then they come where then they suspend minister or any heads of MDs. As soon as they suspend them, then they replace out somebody. For example, we see outside the audit service, when they suspend the auditor general, they replace out somebody. But in the case of this 49,000 bags of rice, when they suspend them, they don't ever replace them. So after they go, when ACC say they not get case for now because they're not glad, what thing they do next? Then come back and reinstate them. So the president, even when he suspend them, he keep the place because he know exactly what in the case they about. He not ever appoint other person to that position there until the case done. That person they go back and go take in case.
Well, for Minister Timboso, in MBD now the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, so they replace her with David Senge.
No.
I
think the same way interestingly before
they appoint to another ministry.
So they call her back for can answer to case. Yes. Then call her back from the labor for can answer to case. Not that it be then a basic again. They be don't transfer.
Yes. They be not transfer to labor.
So from when they call her now for can answer to this case, when they suspend her, they not replace her with any other person. The position will be vacant for the longest time when the case take.
Including the deputy minister. The deputy minister too of basic education when I be Emily Gogra instead go back my position and so.
They're all.
And let me tell you my brother, if the ACC did continue that case game, if Timbo forever gets opportunity for testify, if for pull waste then I do. Now that didn't see. Because from what we gather from different sources, not like Timbo per se chop rice or sell the rice. You get high-placed individuals there way, highly placed individuals there where you get start. Then they take for go fully people in a village. Then they take instead go back in a village. So like in the very first instance, you get people that will distribute the rice among themselves. Senior. Some man go even sell this some in Lebanese or Indian in a
they
Canada.
even distribute some license above to party people in where it's supposed to be for school. So party people in.
Now they say highly placed individuals then. Highly placed individuals then. So you see why make them not ever proceed with that trial. And that's how it is. Case not a rotting. Aisha Johansson was indicted by the former ACC boss Adi Macaulay. Where this Kefala can look at the indictment the way they call, charge matter to court until the court go determine the case, say another case for answer. That case is not a rotting, but not for rotting. And the Kefala will not remain ACC boss forever. So, in fact, for me, now yonder President Bio, for me, don't actually send a strong signal, say corruption is not tolerated in government.
How it go send strong signal when an indoor reserve, it don't make provision for that? Because if you suspend somebody for corruption, you keep in place, it means they come back, and indeed they come back. How it go send strong signal when an in are the leader and make way for the corruption to happen?
Now, in the former U.S. ambassador to Sierra Leone, Maria Brewer, been talking now, Radio 98.1, he say, they prosecute, but they need to look inward now. They need to turn the lens inward. Let them look at the administration. Even the U.S. State Department Human Rights Report on Sierra Leone for 2021, they said they don't agree for the regime the way they call corruption, but they only prosecute lower level officials. They left space or they provide protection for highly placed individuals in the regime. And that's sad. And for me, I lost confidence by ACC. I really get confidence they talk and be proud of the ACC institution will get. Yes, indeed, they are doing well. But from that case day, now they are lost confidence and trust on the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Okay. So let's take you to the last issue. Follow we make a quick one and done this program today. News 24 get big banner headline where says Sam Sumana and supporters may join SLPP if.
Yeah, I saw that headline today. Over the weekend, we see the kind of palaver. We hear a lot of success we happen between Sam Sumana and Increment for supporters there. You get I call her Line Maran Income for supporters them, Kefala Maran self day under where they call. So you know, so they on this registration for let them kickstart a lower level election. They done that membership registration. The case of Sam Sumana is such that there is no clarity as of now because one, the judge in a recent way they call it, we don't talk and say that issue for unresolved membership issues. You get party structure there, you get what the constitution, the APC party constitution say they for do. And Sam Sumana, for me, I think by virtue of the APC party constitution, a membership for readmission or whatever into the APC party should be approved by the National Delegate Conference because now they pull up. So now that same body day for readmission. And but you get some different interpretation them as well. So for now, we don't know one whether Sam Sumana has been fully readmitted into the party. Two, we also don't know whether Sam Sumana will be eligible to contest for the flag bearer of the APC party. Because the new constitution, they talk say if you don't be a paid up member for the party for a period of 5 years, a consecutive 5 years period. Sam Sumana, we don't be about. So we don't know whether in coming into the party as well will be considered as a paid up member for consecutive period of 5 years. Whether I don't know how it is to get from decide that, but that therefore be a very long drawn legal argument, debate, what have you. Yeah. Now we got to understand the dynamics what happened in 2018. Note that Sam Sumana didn't go the before the runoff, after the first time runoff, waiting for going to runoff. You get so many other people that
I
win
think
the
my
time.
voice not go out. The question is, two in one question. Waiting this go get for mean for Samsumana if he at all go get for go over to the SLPP. Waiting go mean to Samsumana or and waiting it go mean for the APC as well.
Yeah, so we say now, Sam Sumana is an individual. I need to look at Sam Sumana as Sam Sumana gets out, but look at the Kono bit. Now, the 2018 dynamics was that because the Kono people decided for vote against APC, now only make APC lost that runoff. The Kono votes them swing go to SLPP as a payback for when they do Sam Sumana. And so the Kono people really show that solidarity with Sam Sumana. Sam Sumana going into joining the SLPP, what does it mean? Now, Sam Sumana may, if he likes for go join SLPP, he can go. What does that mean? Sam Sumana will get a lot of following, we go actually follow out to SLPP. But at the same time, you get a lot of people and other stakeholders, the way they say get a name Nakono at present. You get the likes of Emerson Lamina, Honorable Emerson Lamina, with the parliament as head of C4C. We get it already established Nakono. So even if Sam Sumana no go SLPP said, there is this talk about that Emerson Lamina gets a very good romance with the SLPP. So if Emerson Lamina can proclaim in support for the SLPP, you get a huge following, a huge people following when they go SLPP. Yes. Then you get the Diana Konomanis and other people there. But Kono gets one structure. The paramount chief them are Kono. Now they get the ultimate say in Kono politics. They get a council. When paramount chief them they see the way they meet. Election at Sam Sumana or election at Matilamina. When they call you, they say na so one for go, na so one do. You don't have any option. Kono man no dey comot being Kono man. This is just the politics. The politics of Kono is very deep. So that is just the politics of Kono. So the paramount chief then get a say. But I don't think if Sam Sumana go SLPP, I don't think Sam Sumana will get any sort of they will welcome her where they call, but for say it will get any space like because what is Sam Sumana one now for be president? When he makes such a position, you get I don't accept him because he will tell you don't be vice president for so and so years, you know, he's not for be president. So you get people that way really far accessible for be president of this republic. Probably, especially the other way down, they don't go near the presidency, they don't smell, they don't see, you know, how lucrative that position is. But come on, they can brand, not so for Kawoko. Not so for them get the people they attack. Now make a look that up to now we not get people late, we not get possible. I don't see no possible to go say this one really they can represent the people, the interest of the people, getting country at heart. I don't see it. I don't see that politician for right now. I don't see it. We not get them. We not get them. We not get them. Well, Sam Sumana, if you like, Sam Sumana could have stayed away from politics, concentrate on business or whatever. So, why are you so determined for saying, okay, I want to be president? Who changed? You have been vice president, you couldn't make a change or significant impact. So the politics now that ethnicity, okay, now they are always the lean on the tribal card. Now they lean on for actually gain influence and what have you. And up to now, you get a huge, even among the elite population, the one that will they still live for that tribal sentiment, that regional sentiment, that ethnic
Now them
sentiment.
are the leader in terms of that one. Now then can start the thing, then the rest take.
Yes, they still live on that one day. Whereas now the thing is that you say, but European developed country, Western politics, you don't move away from that. Now competition of ideas. And you get principles in Western ideology, Western politics. Believe me, if you don't teach, you dare not go near the office. You dare not even voice and say you get intention for comeback. It's not possible. What? It's not happen at you. Now, a good example that anyone follow copy. In Singapore, you cannot. Who dare you? You don't get stay and say they can't have policy. For can't affect you lose? No. It shouldn't happen. This is not the problem we'll get. Now, African politics. And the people are so blind enough, they don't care. Once they're able to identify themselves with the tribesmen, oh, now we man, now we tribe we come on, now we region we come on, now we district we come on. That is what they care about. I don't know whether they bring some form of satisfaction or gratification for them. But it's bad. We must be able to scrutinize, no shifter, begin pulling the grass from the wheat. No able to reorganize with body politics. No get credible people. And some of them think they make really good people want for cultural politics. But why are they scared? Because they try that business there where people they carry. Before in my head, they go just influence other people and go attack that one day. Look at what happened. Lion claim say they attack them. You get me? The fellow Maya said they claim other things. Some Somana supporters say they claim other things. Why all that one is for? Will they accept and will they accept say Kuskas, success, thuggery, violence, acceptable and recognizable and with politics? That it will happen. So that's when they happen. Now with politics in the process for let somebody gain political power. What happens when they gain power? They go do the work. They go do the when I look always opposition, when party they in opposition, they complain say, oh, the ruling government they suppress opposition, the ruling government because when they gain power, because the processes, the democratic processes, the intra-party democratic processes, they're very flawed. They're not credible at all. The process for say they go gain political power is filled with corruption, bribe the way they call. So that person they can power. And the same thing they can practice. We parties are not democratic. We political parties are not democratic. That is one big problem. And around then, I reflect in with national governance. If you don't bribe, you will bribe delegates, bribe this, bribe that, for like the electoral flag bearer. When you can have power, when you gain power, now the very first you want to put all that money will be done losses. Simplicity. Then all that will be done support you, will be the pump money for you. Brad do this, Brad will support you campaign they call. Those ones will be considered. Of course,
the politics of paper then will take over, and then the interest of the people will be the last option. Then will only come to the interest of the people when it comes to election, as we don't go inside now. Thank you very much, Lawrence, for joining me inside the program this morning. Yes, of course, we don't get the Pemaun. Nice one this morning. If you find out, you because of course I don't think the heavy duty. Thank you very much. We appreciate your time and everything you don't put inside the program. God bless you. Get yourself a wonderful day.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Nice. In name now Lawrence Williams. We actually now the brain behind the Freedom Post. We don't join me inside the program this morning. For we talk about the different issues them we come up from the different newspaper them. Thank you very much to you. We don't come, we don't watch, don't like, don't share. We appreciate you so much. Until we meet again inside another beautiful edition of the program. One more time, I want to say happy birthday to a producer for this program. We know Elias Abbas to celebrate in birthday today. You know, my name is Pierre the Freedom Fighter. God bless we country Sierra Leone where we can call we are.
This song come up from Madam Sidra to Aminata Kamara from the United States of America. It is dedicated this song to one of the biggest organizations in the world, Weird. Yeah.
Made a crack on the mix.
91 big boy pecan.
H never tap it the ball. Daily base 091. Yellow flag team this.
Hallelujah.
Come on. We are the organization.